how to explain this, but I have to tell someone. I've been holding it all in for so long, but I can't take it anymore. It's been overwhelming, you won't believe me, but I swear this is all true. This happened to us, Emily and me. It started with a mask, a Venetian carnival mask. We were just on vacation in Venice. You know, the kind of trip where everything is supposed to feel magical. That's when we saw that shop. It was tucked away, one of these places that looks like it hasn't changed in 100 years. Inside, it smelled like old wood and dust. And there it was, the mask. She couldn't resist. She picked it up, and from the moment she touched it, I saw something in her eyes. It was like she needed it. And the old man? He didn't even say much, just smiled, like he knew what was going to happen next. I thought it was just a souvenir. I had no idea it would change everything. When we got back home, she couldn't wait to try it on in our bedroom. It started off as a joke. We had just come back from Venice and we were still in that romantic mood, you know, that kind of glow you get after a perfect trip. Emily was playful, teasing me about our mysterious souvenir. She laughed as she held the mask up to her face, twirling in front of the mirror. I remember telling her she looked like one of those masked figures from a carnival ball. She giggled, did a little twirl, and then she just stood there, staring at herself. For a little too long. At first, it was just different. Exciting, even. I mean, it was just a mask, right? But as she moved, as she touched me, something wasn't right. Her hands felt different, too deliberate, too calculated. And the way she breathed, it was shallow, controlled, almost like she was studying me. I whispered her name, but she didn't answer. She just smiled behind that mask, a slow, eerie smile that I could feel even though I couldn't see her lips. I tried to pull it off, but she gripped my wrist hard, like harder than she should have been able to. It wasn't like her at all, and then she bit me. Not playfully, not gently. It was hard, enough to make me wince. I actually yelped, pulling away. My skin stung where her teeth sank in, and when I looked at her, she was just grinning. I laughed it off, told her to calm down, that she was getting way too into it. But deep down, something in me screamed that this wasn't normal, that something was wrong. But the look in her eyes, I swear, for just a second it wasn't her. It was someone else staring back at me when I woke up the next morning. She was there, standing over me in the dark, wearing the mask and that smile. I could barely breathe. I didn't know what to say. I asked her, "What the hell are you doing?" And she just stood there, smiling, not saying a word, not blinking. I was terrified. It didn't stop. Day after day, she kept wearing it, and every time I asked her to take it off, she just smiled. It was like she couldn't hear me. She would just stare at herself in the mirror, admiring herself. She was obsessed, completely obsessed. And I felt completely powerless. I had to get rid of it. Emily was changing, and I knew that mask was the reason, so I waited until she was gone. I drove as far as I could, found a dumpster behind an old gas station, tossed it in, gone, finally. That night, I felt lighter, like I could breathe again. The next morning, when I walked in bathroom, it was there, sitting on the nightstand, staring back at me. No, I threw it away. This isn't possible. Then I heard her behind me. There she was, calm. Her fingers traced the mask like it was something precious. You can't get rid of it. And before I could say anything, she lifted it and put it back on. I couldn't stand it anymore. I searched online, tried to find that shop. Nothing. No website, no number, no address. The shop wasn't even listed. It was like it had vanished from existence. But Emily, she wouldn't stop wearing the mask. She needed it. Every day, it got worse. She wasn't Emily anymore. She was someone else. When I tried to confront her, when I tried to get her help, she became violent. I had to hold her back. It was like I was losing her to something dark, something in that mask. I didn't know what else to do. I had to get that mask away from her, but she fought back. She was stronger. It was like the mask was giving her power. When I ripped it off, I saw something in her eyes. It wasn't her anymore. I swear to God, it wasn't her. I didn't know what to do anymore. She started wearing it constantly. I couldn't stop her. Every time she looked in the mirror, she became more and more obsessed. She was gone, replaced by someone else. And I couldn't help her. I had to do it. I had to send her away. She wasn't my Emily anymore. It wasn't safe. For her, for me. I called the hospital and they came to take her. But even as they led her away, still wearing that damn mask, I heard her whispering in Italian, a language she never knew. But she spoke it fluently, like she had always known it. I thought it was over. I should have felt relieved. I should have felt safe. But I didn't, because when I walked into the bedroom, the mask was there, not on the floor, not in a bag, on my pillow, waiting. And then I felt it, a pull, a whisper, not in my ears, in my mind. I stepped closer. My hands trembled as I reached for it. It felt warm, like someone had just taken it off. And before I could stop myself, I lifted it, brought it to my face, and I obeyed.